Hey everybody, it's Yuli here from Project of Lifestyle, and I want to share in this video 10 habits which I stole from successful people and implemented in my life, and my life is so much better because of it. A few years ago, I was not making any money online. I was even in loans. I wasn't happy. I didn't have a girlfriend. I was getting angry a lot, and I started learning more and more from successful people. And eventually our life comes down to our habits. And Jim Rohn says it as well. So I learned more and more, and steadily I implement more and more habits into my life. It takes time sometimes to implement a new habit. And I want to cover 10 habits which I implemented in my life, which I studied from the most successful people in the world. I stole it from them, and you can steal it from me as well, or better go steal from them as well. And my life is so much better because of it. Those habits really, I think they're the key attribute why, from going to nothing to earning 6 figures a year, to traveling the world for over 2 years now, for being so much happier, and many other more things. So I'll start with it. So successful habit number 1, really. Successful people plan their day. I started doing this consistently, I think it was 1 year ago, something like this. I started doing it consistently. Every day I take a journal and I plan my day. What I want to do, what are my outcomes, why I want to do things. It's something I heard a few years ago. I heard about planning, but it's not something I was doing. It was not a habit in my life. And since I've started planning my day, I am so much more productive. I actually write down the things I want to do. I write down the things which are most important. I write down what I want to do, why I want to do it. And it gives me so much clarity, and I'm so much more productive. And in the last year, I feel I'm just doing so much more and bringing out more value to the world. And this is one of those things which I knew about, but I was not doing for a long time. And that's why it took me a while to integrate as a habit. It took me maybe a few weeks to really force myself doing it, but since then it's kind of automatic. I actually don't move without planning. Even if I have a crazy day, I'll plan my day. Doesn't matter. If I have 1 hour to work per day, 2 hours, and while traveling something happens, I will plan my day. Now, more than just planning on day planning, I do planning on a weekly basis and a bi-weekly basis. I think planning is so crucial. Planning is when you can actually stop and think. It's not just being on doing mode. So this is a huge habit, planning in general, and especially day planning. Habit number 2, successful people journal. They take things out of their head and put it out on paper. It's something I started doing also only in last year actually. And this on the paper, basically you put your worries, your fears, your thoughts. If you need to make a big decision, it's all need to be done on paper. You need to journal about it. Like you need to journal about different aspects. For a long time, I was putting things in my head. So I was thinking about decisions in my head, having worries, maybe fears. Since I started journaling, just writing things on paper, it brings all the worries out of my head. It makes me a better decision maker because I'm able to make proper and better decisions because I'm just writing it down, really. I'm having some questions, asking myself, and in your head you can go around so much, but when you write down things on paper, you have so much clarity and you can take better decisions. You can become just more happier. You remove worries like this. Something I've noticed myself in the last year, and if you're happier, eventually you're gonna be more successful. That's the way I see it. So that's a great habit I implemented in last year. Definitely recommend you. Habit number 3, successful people make their health a priority. Health is the most important thing. And this is something I kind of started doing in the last few years as well, because when I was growing up, I was really sick. I was getting sick all the time. I had disease, and this was a true issue. I still have some health issues, but I'm so much better than I was. And for me, health is number 1 priority. It's about everything else. I'll not jeopardize my health for anything. This means working out on a regular basis, which in itself will make you more productive. Richard Branson himself once asked, what is your number 1 key for productivity? And he leaned down for a few seconds, he thought about it, and he said, working out. And again, if Richard Branson says it, there is a reason to listen to him. And many other successful people say it as well. Like they either work out first thing in the morning, and it brings so much clarity because your mind and body are connected. If your body is strong, this will allow you to be in a peak performance. And since I take care of my health, I don't get sick, so I can actually work more days as well. Instead of if you're sick, you're out for 1-2 weeks, whatever it is. And not only this, I have clarity in my head. So I can just perform much better. I can do so many more things. So for me, my health is absolutely my priority. I'm passionate about health. I really love health. I keep studying and learning about it, and it's gonna remain the most important thing to me, really number one. And this is as my basis of everything will allow me to perform better at business, will allow me to be better with any relationship because I'm just feeling good and I'm healthy. So this was habit number three. Habit number four, successful people read books on a regular basis. Successful people are readers. I was not reading too much when I was growing up, and at the age of 18, I saw a movie called The Secret. That's how I got into personal development. Today I kind of hate the movie, but that's how I got into it. And since then, I kind of became a lifelong reader. I decided I'm never gonna stop reading and never gonna stop learning. And since then, I read probably hundreds of books in the last 6 years. Actually, it's been 8 years since I was 18. I'm 26 now. And to this day, like I constantly force myself reading on a regular basis. And most of my insights, lessons, how I'm able to grow and get more income, it's from books. Because people take their best ideas and put it into books. It's amazing. Lately, I've been less into books and more into podcasts, which is another form of reading. And I just listen to podcasts while I do other things. If I walk somewhere, if I'm on a flight, if I'm on a train, if I have a few minutes, I'll put in a podcast. And I notice that I can easily pull off like 2 to 3 hours of podcasts and more information in my head. And I listen to people who are much more successful and better than me, and I take ideas from them. I learn from it so much, and it allows me to grow myself. So great habit I implemented, and I know I'll do it for the rest of my life as well, definitely. Habit number five, successful people live each day as if it were the last. Now this part I truly believe. I truly believe that life is short, and this is something I started doing in the last 2 years. Instead of waiting until I'm 40 or 50 to traveling the world, I decided I'm gonna start traveling the world. And since then, my life is amazing. And I'm not waiting one day to reach a goal in order to do something. I've decided to live life right now. And 2 years ago, I started traveling, actually 26 months ago. And it's amazing for me. For me, it's the perfect lifestyle, and I'm experiencing life on a daily basis. I'm having so much experiences, and I'm doing it while I'm growing my businesses, while I'm scaling my income, but I'm enjoying my life on the way. It's so crucial to do it right now instead of in 10, 15, 20 years. And it gives me so much happiness and joy inside, which allows me to also work consistently because I'm kind of recharged on a daily basis. I don't need to take vacations because every day is exciting for me. Like right now here, I'm by the beach, and every day I can go and get a tan, lie on the beach. And for me, it's amazing. I get recharged from it, and it's easier for me to work on a consistent basis. And that's why it actually allows me, I believe, to be more successful as well, which allowed me to grow even more while I traveled in the last 2 years. Habit number six, which I stole from most successful people, is successful people have morning routines. They take usually 1 hour of the day in the morning, and they do something to empower yourself. I heard something beautiful, which I agree, like if you win your morning, you kind of win your day. And if you start your morning in an amazing way, which empowers you physically, financially, and spiritually, emotionally, you'll take it to the rest of the day. If you start your day with bad news, or maybe you start your day first thing with your iPhone or whatever device it is you have, these are the first things that come into your head, and maybe you don't empower yourself. So all successful people have some kind of morning routine. They take usually half an hour to 60 minutes at least and just dedicate it for things that are important themselves. I do it as well. I have my own morning routine. I kind of built up from my experiences, something I can do anywhere in the world. So again, I don't rely on a physical location, and this pumps me up. This gives me so much energy, juice. I'm so happy when I'm doing it. And after doing it, it just allows me to perform much better in a day. It allows me to be much more happier in a day, and it allows me to be more productive. So I do a morning routine. I started doing it actually 3 years ago. So I've been doing every day some kind of morning routine which empowers me. I usually do different kinds of things. I'll make a different video about it, but I focus on things like gratitude, visualize goals I have, read my goals I have, read the most important things. Sometimes I take care of my body, work out, maybe I can just walk on the beach. So I do something to empower myself in the morning. Win your morning, win your day. All right, so habit number 7. Successful people meditate. it's something I notice across many successful people. They all say they have some kind of practice of meditation. And I started doing meditation actually also only last year, and I saw such great effects. I actually didn't do necessarily meditation straight off the bat. I learned yoga when I lived in Thailand, and in the end of each yoga practice, there's a pose called Shavasana. You lie on the ground and just close your eyes for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and this is a form of meditation. You're supposed to just relax and not think on everything, focus maybe about yourself, about your breath. And I've been doing yoga since then on a regular basis, and every time I meditate, it drastically changed how I approach things. I'm much more calm after I meditate. I see things clearer. Maybe I know I don't need to do some certain actions. Maybe I know I need to cut something from my life. Maybe I need to know who to cut, maybe a person. And I'm so more clear in my head after meditating, and it's so easier for me to focus as well. So meditation brings me so much, which may be even hard for me to put into words, but I feel it makes me so much better in every decision I make, much more focused, more productive, happier, more calm inside, and I'm gonna continue doing it. It's a wonderful habit. Hate habit of successful people is they manage their emotions. Successful people know how to manage their emotions. In the past, I was getting angry all the time, maybe from small things. Now, I also travel in the world, and if you're a traveler as well, you'll notice that there are many things that can start and annoy you and piss you off. Maybe someone is screwing you over $1 because when you're a tourist, people want your money all the time. And in the beginning, when I was traveling the world, actually, I was getting angry all the time. But every small thing, every taxi driver which was screwing me over, every restaurant owner which wanted me more money, every hotel, every other thing, like they want more money because I'm traveling. And my emotions were not the best. So I actually listened to Tony Robbins' audios. I think he's the best in the world of this. And I learned how to sort my emotions and how to manage them much more properly and appropriately. And now I don't get angry on stupid things. And it allows me to be more happier in my day-to-day life when I'm traveling. But I also notice when some risks or challenges are coming in my businesses, I'm much more calm. I'm managing my emotions there, which in turn allow me to take better decisions. And whatever business you have, probably some crises are on the way if you don't have any right now. And if you know to manage your emotions, you'll be able to navigate them. And successful people always struggle. I struggle as well. I think it's a lie thinking that if someone is doing better than you, they're not struggling. They're struggling, they have their own struggles. I know I have mine. And managing my emotions allows me to overcome my challenges and my struggles much better. Habit number 9, which I stole from most successful people, is successful people do not multitask. They know how to focus. Multitask is a drain to your energy. Successful people know how to focus one thing at a time. If you're doing a certain task, and that's what I started doing also in the last 2-3 years, as more I learned productivity, I kind of was doing multitasking in the past. I was thinking I'm doing a lot, but at the end of the day, I was figuring out, hey, I actually didn't do anything useful. I started doing one thing at a time. If I'm focusing on one task, I'll do this task only for half an hour. No email, no phones, no Skype, nothing. If I'll focus on something, I'll do it. And once I've started doing it, I've seen my results getting better and better. And it's something I even learned. I was in India in a course called Oneness University. I have another video and another blog post about it. I recommend you to watch it. I talk about meditations there and how one of the things which I gained from there is really clarity. Like it's a place where people go to be awakened or stuff like this. But one of the things when you're awakened, you're really focused on the moment. One of the things that is focus. It's so hard to focus sometimes on one thing at a time. Whether right now you're with your loved one, so be only with your loved one. Don't be with your work at this moment. If you're working out, be in your workout. Don't think about other things. Let's focus. That's mental focus. It's not easy. I struggle with it as well, but I'm so much better than I was in the past. And even my level today allows me to do much better than I'm doing before. So don't multitask. Know how to focus. Do one thing at a time. Now, 10th thing, which I stole from successful people, a habit is successful people have hobbies. They do things outside of their business. Now, being a varied person and doing many other things is something which is very appealing to me. It's also very important to me. I don't want to be all about business. I don't want to be all about work. For me, it's boring. I want to do many other things. And I believe after doing it for a while, it makes me happier. It makes me more joyful. it makes me more fulfilled. And if I'm more happy and fulfilled, it will be easy for me to come back and work on my businesses and in the long run grow and be even more successful. And I do many things. I travel around the world, which is one hobby of mine. I do yoga. I also go to the gym. I love climbing mountains. I love doing physical things. I love meeting people. I love going to the beach, getting a tan, maybe going to nature. I have many like hobbies and things which I love outside of my business. And I believe it makes me more a whole person, more happy person, which allows me to do better really in the long run, looking years ahead in my businesses. So I covered 10 habits in this video, which I stole from the most successful people in the world. Something I implemented were other habits, but those of course I implemented on a daily basis. I saw they made huge and drastic changes in my life. And if you want a quick action plan, think maybe which habit out of the 10 which I just told you want to implement. Something you don't have. Start small. I didn't do it all in one day. Many of those took me years and years and years of doing it. I started working on myself 6-8 years ago. So, a quick action plan, really, take one habit out of those 10, think what appeals to the most, and just implement it. Work for 3 weeks. Make it 3 weeks every day, or whatever the habit is, just do it. And afterwards, you'll see that it's easy, and it will become just a habit for the rest of your life, if the habit works for you. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Project Laptop Lifestyle. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.